city is experiencing one of its severe crises, the water crisis. With the summer seeping in and the temperatures going more than 36 degrees, it clearly gives you an idea what the problem is going to be with the people of Bengaluru when it comes to water. Most of the borewells in the city have dried up. There were close to 3,000 borewells. Most of them have dried up. The city's capacity for water is close to 2,500 to 2,800 milliliters of water, and there is a deficit of 1,500 to 1,000 milliliters of water to the city. And with regards to all this, I am here at the KHB Platinum Apartments in Kengeri, the outskirts of Bengaluru, where I'm joined in by the president, who will clearly give us an idea about how many people who stay here and the problems that they suffer, sir. To start off, sir, how many people stay here and the problems that they are suffering, if you could tell us, with regards to water?
We are staying nearly 3,500 people in this apartment. We have 808 flats, different size flats we have. This apartment built by Karnataka Housing Board.
Okay, government
entity.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They have built and they have digged only 3 borewells. 3 borewells. Out of 3, 2 are already dried. One is giving very less shade.
How deep are these borewells?
It is around 600, 650 feet.
So at 600, 650 feet also we are not being able to find water?
Yes. Last week we have tested with camera. It is dried till 500 feet.
Okay.
Only 100 feet or 50 feet water
is there.
Storage water.
Storage water is there.
That cannot be pumped out.
If you could also show us, because we here at the tank where the water is being supplied from, if you could show us the condition of the tank and how is the
our
situation?
tanks are empty. No water in the tank itself. Please look into this.
पूरा खाली है.
Yeah. This is empty.
So this is the condition of one of the tanks over here, and it's entirely empty. Sir, इसमें कितना? How much? What is the capacity of the water?
4 lakh capacity.
4 lakh
liters.
4 lakh liters.
This is supplied for 3 blocks. We have 7 blocks. Another one more tank is there.
One more. Show me the. So this is one of the tanks, and it has the capacity of 4 lakh liters, and it is clearly empty. There's another tank. Let's just show you that one also. The condition of this tank.
This will supply for another 2 blocks. This is around 3 lakhs capacity. There is nothing. Single drop of water is not there.
Well, you can clearly see the other tank at least had a few drops of water. This is pitch dry, and this is the condition of most of the tanks in apartments in Bengaluru. And he clearly said, sir, how many blocks does this supply to? Well, he's closer to.
These 3, this will supply there. From this we will supply only 3 blocks. Another one more tank is there, that is for 2 blocks. We have 7 blocks.
Okay, 7 blocks total, 3,500 people, 7 blocks, and empty tanks you have.
Yeah, we are living with empty tanks.
So in how many days once water comes here?
Every alternate days they are providing from BWSB, but it is very less quantity. Earlier we used to get 1 crore 40 lakhs liters per month. Nowadays they are supplying only 30 to 35 lakhs. From last 2 days they are reduced the quantity also again.
So from 1 crore to 30 lakh has the capacity come down. So close to 70% the water has been reduced here by the authorities.
From BWSB.
Sir, we caught this particular person who was living in his bike with a lot of clothes. So let's find out, sir, why are you carrying these clothes and where are you going?
So to take a wash, sir, actually.
Why are you not doing this at your home?
So there is no water, no. So from the past 2 months we are not having some water also here. So I'm taking out for just for a clothes to take a wash.
Take a wash. So how many days once you have to take your clothes?
So 3 days once I'm taking regularly from last 2 months.
From the last 2 months?
Yes.
So see, you can it clearly gives you the seriousness of the issue, because people cannot wash their clothes in their house. He has 2 bags, and 3 days in once he takes the clothes for the entire house and he goes for washing. We have a few more residents over here who have their own problems with regards to water, and because of the overall problem, what are they suffering with this, sir? How do you face problems here?
Yes, this apartment I am staying from last 6 to 7 years. This is the first time we are facing this much huge issue. Actually, government well know this, because last year there is no rain and this is going to happen, but government is not prepared. They are mainly into focus in other activities, not in the people's needs. Yeah, they are focusing in Lotus of election and other things are happening. They are into that and they are doing politics only. They are not taking care of people's and they are not thinking of people's crisis.
So once in how many days does water come to your house, and how do you manage that?
Now we are getting once 3 days, but the water quantity what we are getting it is only 30% of what before we are getting. So 30% percent for 800 houses it's not sufficient. So really we are facing issues.
So you clearly heard that 30% of water is something that they have not been able to control. Sir, who do you think is responsible for the whose problem is this, sir?
Sir, politician only have to take responsibility and all, sir. Since 7 years, this is first time, sir. We are suffering for 3 days once water will come. We are going office without bath many days. Most of the days we are going without bath. And washing dresses within 3 days, 4 days once, sir.
All right. Sir, like I said, this is not the problem that we're facing for the first time. We've seen this before also, but it's never become this bad. Now, like one of the said that they're going outside and washing clothes. And who do you think should be actually blamed for this? Because it's the government's duty to make sure that the water is there in people's houses.
Sir, I am staying from last 6 to 7 years here, and water issue is there. Every year we are facing this. Every summer we are facing, but this time this is completely a disaster. Weekly once we are getting the water, that is also not sufficient. And majorly, as per me, the water which flown to the other state from the Karnataka, that should not be there, because our farmers, they done everything to hold that, but government not stopped that. That is the major issue. And now see the borewells. How many borewells? We have 3 to 4 borewells, but only one is in a working condition. So that is not sufficient for 808 flats, like a 3,500 plus people are staying here. It is like one panchayat. It is just like one small village. This is the our apartment, and this is a government built apartment, and we are not getting a water. Just think about other private buildings. The government itself doesn't have a water here, so it is very disaster. And this
Imagine the situation in village areas.
Yeah, village and some other part of Karnataka. And now this is the March month. Kids have their exams, so every day they have to wake up early. Without water, they have to go. Without nothing. Water is the most essential requirement for living the human. So that is not sufficient for here. And this is completely first time we are seeing this is disaster.
Correct. Sir, alright, sir, we have few ladies also over here. Sir, ma'am, what kind of problem are you been facing with regards to water? How are you managing your house?
We are not getting water. So we are sufficient water.
ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು?
ಅದೇ ಬಕೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು
ಬಕೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮನೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮನೇಲಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್
ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್
buckets.
Otherwise it used to come throughout before.
Yeah.
So you clearly had before it used to come 24/7, but now they are saving it in buckets and keeping. And this is the situation of an apartment where close to 3,500 people are living. Now, if this is the situation at apartments, you can clearly imagine what kind of situation will be there in places which are nearby in individual houses where water is not a regular thing like it's there in apartments. So I hope the government takes a note of all the problems that they are facing and make sure that not just them, but a lot of the people who are outside this apartment, people in the different areas like RR Nagar, Whitefield, where the situation is getting worse and worse, that water is being supplied. But the politics of this is also going on one side. We have the opposition who clearly said that in 7 days, if this has not been solved, then we will have massive protest in the city. Now remains to be seen how fast the government acts and puts an end to this water crisis that Bengaluru is facing.